So we can start, sir.
Yes, sir. Hello, friends. Very good evening.
Good evening,
Am I
sir.
audible to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Am I audible? Yes. So, good evening, everyone. I'm very happy to welcome for this wonderful session, the session on how to score more than your potential in the UPSC Civil Services Mains Examination. Kingmakers IAS Academy, in association with the India Bhai, have taken so many initiatives for the welfare of the students, particularly those who are preparing for the civil services examination. The last few years, from our association, we have produced more than 250 civil servants. In 2021, we were able to produce 142. In 2022 results, 101 achievers. All these things were possible because of two important pillars of this team. One is Mr. India Bhai, popularly known as India Bhai. Otherwise, his name is Ashutosh Gupta. Another pillar is Kingmakers IAS Academy Personal Test Development Program Director, Mr. Vivek Harinaran IAS. My dear friends, as part of this association this year, again, we are going to give you the inputs which will really give you the positive energy and the best tips to crack the mains examination, through which you will also learn the writing skills, comprehension skills, the knowledge, the content, everything you are going to learn. Today is the day which will really give you a lot of confidence. After attending this session, I'm sure each and every one of you, in case if you are going to write UPSC mains in 2022, it will be really, really useful. Even otherwise, in case if you are not going to write in 2022, if you are planning to write in 2023, this session is going to be really a useful session so that you'll be more comfortable to face the mains examination in future. I wish all the aspirants to become a great achiever in near future, for which our association with the Kingmakers IAS Academy and India Bhai Association will be really a helpful tool for all the aspirants. I wish once again Mr. Ashutosh Bhai Gupta for his association with the Kingmakers IAS Academy. Wish you all the best.
Kindly
Students are requested to just put your mobile phone on mute.
Kindly mute your laptop and all those things. Okay, thanks a lot, Bhuminathan sir, for giving me such a good opportunity to share my knowledge and experience with the students of the Kingmakers Academy, and we have already advertised the program to many other candidates who are writing the civil service mains, so that for the greater benefit of the candidate community, we are spreading it without any fees, without any extra payment. So just because of the this facility and the platform given by the Kingmaker Academy, we are going to provide this 2-hour power pack video or my lecture on the how to score more than your own potential in the mains examination. So thanks a lot, Kingmaker Academy, and thanks a lot, Bhuminathan sir, for such a great opportunity to interact with the students of the Kingmakers and other students of other institute also, because we have shared it across. So first of all, I want to provide you some details about this program, that whatever you have studied till now, those who are writing for mains this year, for them I'm telling, whatever you have studied, content and all, now next 2 weeks are there, almost you are going to revise it completely. No need to read anything new, just revise it, whatever you have read it, at least 3 to 4 times, especially the current affairs, so that it will be very easy for you to recall during the examination. Don't think that you have read it just once and you will be able to recall in the examination, because those who are writing this as their first mains, they know that it is very difficult to get the recall during the examination, because of the very less time per question, as well as due to the stress level in the examination. only those candidates will be able to recall most of the answers, most of the questions who have revised it 3-4 times before the mains examination. That means the last revision should be done in the last week of the before starting the examination. Okay. So if you are going to read a new thing just for once, twice, don't do it, because this will not give you any benefit except it will waste your time on reading it. So whatever you have read it, revise it 3 to 4 times. And those who are not writing the mains this year, for them, my sincere advice is that whatever I'm going to discuss it, you try to use it in the test series, in the answer writing of the Kingmaker Academy, or whatever institute you are into. Just use those tips and tricks in your answer writing so that it will get inherited in your answer writing skills, and this will help you improve the answer writing and finally the main score. So today, this process of explaining you all GS 1, 2, 3, 4 plus essay, that how to score more than your own potential. This class actually comprises of 4 or 5 class, at least one for each paper and one for essay. So total 5 or 6 class, which I used to provide to my mentorship students. 5-6 class we are doing it comprehensively, but since we have the paucity of time, we have less time for the mains writing candidates, and so with the sir's agreement, Bhuminathan sir asked me to give the major points, major outlines within 2.5 hours, maximum 2.5 hours. So I'll try to cover up. It is not much possible to cover it each and everything within 2 hours, but I'll try to maximize all the important points for your benefit within 2.5 maximum, right? So that you get the most out of it. And you can ask your query in the end, so that let me finish each and everything, and whatever is left you can ask me. Meanwhile, some of the important questions I will take up in the end, and I'll guide you on that also. So whatever I'm telling you, you can write down also, because it will help you in revising and revisiting what I've told here, so that you, in the constant process of writing the answer, you go on adding those tips and tricks which I'm telling you here, right? And one more important thing I'll tell you, that whatever I'm telling you is based on the practical aspect of the mains examination. I'm not telling something which is theoretical, because theoretical you have learned it from many coachings. They do that, write a good introduction, write a good conclusion, write a good content, good this, like that. I'm not telling you about all those things. So whatever is ideal is actually ideal only. It is not it's not at all practical. So whatever I will tell you, that is the practical application based thing which you can apply in the mains examination. I'm not telling you any ideal thing, because I know that it is not able, you won't be able to practice it in the examination, because there is the constant fight of the time is there in the mains examination. So what I'll tell you is all the practical tips only, nothing ideal, nothing so special, and which I'll tell you, you'll be able to follow it. So okay, so let's start. So first of all, start with the GS4, because there are lots of things which I can tell you for GS4. So the first is like ethics paper, GS4. See, there is always a students have always a doubt that's how to finish the paper, because there is every possibility that the case study will take some more time, and the other aspects of the question like theory and all also take some time. So in that process, either the student loses or compromises some of the case studies, or they are actually losing the compromising on the theory part. So this is the constant student are saying that this is the constant thing they are actually facing up. So my suggestion is that on this, that like how you're going to complete the paper. First, I'll discuss that. So try to understand that you have to try to attempt the case studies first. I'll tell why. Okay. So you have to try to attempt case studies in the beginning. Why? Because there are 6 case studies. Okay, 6 case studies are there, and each case study you can spend 15 minutes. So total you will be completing the case studies in 1 hour, 30 minutes. That means half of the time, and the remaining part will go for the theory part. That is 1 hour 30 minutes. Okay. So in case if you are going to extend your time of case studies to more than 1 hour 30 minutes, you are going to compromise on the theory part. For example, you can go maximum up to 1 hour 40 minutes. after that, if you are going to spend any more minute, you are going to lose or compromise some of the theory questions. Okay, some of the theory questions you're going to compromise. See, why I'm telling you this, that because many of you are spending in case study 1 hour 45 minutes, and then you are thinking that you will complete all the theory paper. I'm telling you that, see, every question is important. Every question is important because you never know that which question you are going to gain more marks and which question you're going to gain less marks, especially in ethics paper. Because, and in the, see, the paper of ethics is what? Is basically a general paper. It's a, anyone can write any answer. Anyone can write any answer. And most of you are knowing that if you're able to complete the whole paper of ethics, then definitely you can score more, right? Because because it is not like other GS paper in which either you know or you do not know. Since you know it, you can write it. You do not know, then you can just leave it also. It won't affect your marks. But in ethics, you have to attempt, and you can attempt each and every question. So try understanding that if you're going to attempt each and every question, in that case, make sure that you do it in a very proper way. That means you have to attempt in all questions in a timely manner. Okay, got my point? So in that case, for the case studies, you have to do it like this only, that very clearly you have to attempt it. You have to devote your time in case studies. Don't try to devote more time in case studies, because then it will affect your completely the this theory paper. Now, let me tell you that most of you are not able to complete the case studies on time. Why? Because there are many reasons. First, reasons that why not able to complete the whole paper in time. That means most of you are writing the unnecessary content in the case studies. Something which is not asked, you are writing it. You are writing useless content, sometimes which are not related with the question. Not related with the question. Why? See, for example, in every question, most of you are writing the stakeholders summary of the case study. Then you are writing the ethical dilemmas, conflict of interest, ethical or ethical ethical issues, already called moral issues. All those things you're writing, and most of the people will be telling you to write all those things also, right? See, my suggestion is that if these parts are not asked, if you're writing these things, it will kill your time. For example, in any case study, they will be asking you 2 or 3 things, that what will you do as a collector or as SP or whatever, right? Second, or something about like write the stakeholders involved, or write the ethical dilemmas of the, okay, something they will ask like this. So I'm telling you that what will you do is basically they will ask you the either the courses of action or the best course of action, or not basically the best course of action, along with few of the other courses of action, or they will be asking just the best course of action. Okay, and maybe the writing stakeholders and whatever just I've discussed double. Now you see, you try to understand one thing, that UPSC will give you marks only on those questions which it has asked, right? Marks on those questions which it has asked, which it has asked. That means if they have not asked you the stakeholders, and if you're writing a stakeholder, they will not give you any marks. If they have not asked you the ethical dilemma or conflict of interest, they will not give you marks, right? Because you're writing on your own. It is not being asked in the examination. So try understanding that whatever is asked only will be rewarded with marks. That is very obvious and very clear. Everybody knows, because see, if they are going to give you marks on everything, whatever you can write, because in ethics paper, everyone can write anything. So if they're going to give you more marks or marks in whatever you're writing, then everybody, they have to give the marks, because everybody will write something. But they will not give you marks, because they will give you marks only on those parts which they've asked you as a, and the marks are allotted for it. For example, it's 20 markers, some 10 marks will be, okay, I'll off my camera. Maybe the broad bandwidth issue is there. Okay, now I hope you can easily hear me. So, okay, so I'm telling you that marks are allotted on each and every question. Like for this, it will be like 10 marks, first part, second part 10 marks. So only marks allotted, and now you're writing something extra which is not asked. Why will you get marks? You will not get marks, but you are wasting some 3-4 minutes on each and every question on writing on such parts which are not been asked. So if you are wasting even 3 minutes for some extra content which is not asked, and there are 6 questions, you will end up wasting 18 minutes, which will cost you either one case study completely, either one case study will be lost, or you will be compromising on 2 theory questions. Right? So you will, because 80 marks, 80 minutes are much more than, you will be spending more than 18, and then you will be compromising few questions in the end. And from the very time of the panicking stage, you will continue to lose some of the questions here and there. Right? So I'm telling you that don't just my humble suggestion. This is for those who have a normal writing speed. Those who can write with the speed of light, or they are very fast in writing, they can write each and everything, whatever they want to write, they can write it. There is no doubt about it. Okay? Whatever extra you want to write, whatever additional thing you want to write, you can write it, because you have very quick or fast writing. But this will be like generally out of 10, 2-3 people will be there who can write each and every content plus some extra content, because they have very fast writing. But those who cannot write such quickly, or so they should write it. Whatever they are going to write, they should write it as per the question asked. Okay, Deepak, I'll get back to you. Right? So, okay. So my humble suggestion is that you write it whatever you know it, because you, out of 10, 8 people will not write so fast. They are not so quick in writing each and every part. So make sure that you do it only when you are very good at writing. So then you can save those 3-4 minutes each question, and you can use it in completing the whole question in whatever it is asked. Now you want to do, Deepak Kumar have asked that, like, you want to fill pages like all this. See, you can fill pages, no problem. But you see, whenever you are writing bogus material, that is not asked, that is not a part of the answer. Why will UPSC will give you marks just filling the pages? UPSC will tell you, UPSC has already told you that whatever you're writing, it is as per the question, you will get marks. But if you're writing something which is not asked, that means why will you get marks? Because they're not you, everybody will be writing something extra. So UPSC is going to give you, every marks. No, the marks in the ethics varies now from some 80, 70, 80 to 120, 140. So this variation is due to the actual content or the right kind of content which you are writing. You're writing bogus content, you're writing you just want to fill the pages, you won't get marks. Now you're asking us how to fill those pages. Then I'll tell you. See, now you have to fill those pages by writing the right kind of content, what is asked, not what you know or what you want to write. So whatever the question it does, like, what will you do? That means the best course of action. You can elaborate on your best courses of action. You can write the merits and demerits of each kinds of action, 1 or 2, 3 actions. I'll tell that also. And you can expand those. And even while writing the stakeholders, ethical dilemmas, you can expand it. You can write, you can elaborate on what is asked, because then because the marks are awarded for writing what is asked, and as a result, you will get more marks. Instead of you writing whatever is not needed, you're writing something extra and just want to fill the pages, definitely UPSC won't give you marks. Right? Because then for that kind, then what is the use of means? You can write something what do you know and you will get marks. Nobody will give you for writing something bogus material. Okay. So based on that, what you have to do? You have to write what is asked. You can elaborate on what is asked, not what you know. Okay. Got my point? Fine. Now moving to the next part, like now the question is like, sir, shall we not write anything which is extra? Yes, you can write it. If you are good at writing and you are able to complete the question, you can write something extra. Don't follow the particular template. Like if you're writing stakeholders, summary, and ethical dilemmas, conflict of interest, moral, ethical for each and every question, try avoiding writing each and every question with same content. You can diversify. That means sometimes in one question you write the stakeholders, another question you write the summary, another question you write the ethical dilemmas, then maybe in some other conflict or whatever you want to write. Don't just change the template. Don't repeat the same template each and every question. Why? Because see, when you're repeating the same template from each and every question which you have learned from some coaching institute, UPSC will easily identify you that you are coming from some coaching institute and you're writing the same part, same thing in every question. And that repetition will cause, they will come to know that you don't have your own knowledge, you don't have your own common sense, you are using the instruction given by the coaching centers, and that is why you're not applying your mind, and here it is not asked why you're writing it. Unnecessarily you are writing it just for the sake of writing. So you can diversify your content. Even this part, this was always been told by me, and this year's topper also told in some interview also that she has diversified the template. She had not used the same thing in every question, right? Because this will show your fluidity, flexibility, that you are able to change the maybe some more content, you give some more content based on the question asked, not based on your own template, the same template you are using each and every question. Okay, so try doing that you change the things in here and there mostly. Okay, don't use the same thing, and you can you can start practicing it also, that you should not use the same thing so that your answer look different. Each and every answer look different and should not be look like copied from some coaching student instructions. Okay, so this will fetch you more marks because you will be now more creative and more flexible. Okay, this you can try doing that. This will help you a lot. Okay, now coming to some other part in the case study, like some will ask, sir, they will ask you what are the courses of action which you'll do. Courses of action. Courses of action means what actions you will take. Generally, maybe one or two questions they will ask. Not every question will be there. So sometimes, but they will ask you that what is the best course of action? They will ask you, or they will ask you what will you do? That means what will you do means what will you do means what is your best course of action? So this part will be there. This will be always there. But course of action, that means more than one action which you can think that you will do, but you will not do it. And you will do only the best course of action. They can ask you. Okay. So here, let me tell you that many people will ask, how many options we have to write in the courses of action. So I'll tell you that there are various ways, various students who are writing, option 1, option 2, option 3, option 4, like that they're writing. Many options they will write. See, you can write as many options, but the thing is that you have limitation of time and pages and the word limit, whatever. So you don't have mainly the primary limit is on time. You don't have so much time that you will voice issues coming, it will come. Don't worry, it will be there. Whenever you are doing it, there will be problem of time paucity will be there. So you cannot go and use the 5 options. Neither you can just write 1 or 2 options, and then what should be the ideal number of options which you can write? I'll tell you. You can write maximum 3 options. Okay, if they ask you that what are the courses of action you will do, then you write maximum 3 options. Let me tell you that what are those courses of action. So option 1, you can choose anything which is related to the maintaining the status quo. Whatever is related to maintain the status quo, you can use that. Something which is government that whatever is there is there. That means you are not going to change it. And whatever the previous thing has been done, and you maintain it. That is maintaining the status quo. Whatever the question is that, don't write the maintain the status quo. Right as per the actual case study, what you will do. Right? Don't write this word. Okay. So use whatever the previous thing is done, you continue the same thing. That is the maintaining the status quo. Then second will be some drastic or some extreme action. That you will use many extreme action, that you will resign from the job, you will go to the You'll go on leave, or you'll go for a PIL, you will, become a whistleblower. All these are the extreme actions, extreme and drastic action. See, and then third part will be the best course of action. Now, suppose a person who is writing 5 course of action, 5. Okay. Now, okay, just coming that before that. See, option will be what? Maintaining the status quo. Then you have to write the merits and demerits. The drastic extreme action, you have to write merits and demerits. And the best course of action also you have to write merits and demerits. For each and every option, you have to write the merits and demerits. This will basically evaluate your options, merit and demerit of the whatever course of action you do. It will be evaluated by if you write the merits and demerits. Okay. Now, if you're writing option 5 also, then you have to write the 5 options along with the merits and demerit. Now, try to understand that the option number 5, sorry, option number 1, those who are writing the case study 5, I'm telling you, those who are writing the 5 options, the option 1 will be same as yours. Those who are writing option 3, 3 options. So option 1 will be same as yours. Option last, that is option 5 will be same for those who are writing 5 options will be same as those who are writing 3 options, option number 3. Well, the best course of action will be same as yours and theirs. Only difference will be the option 2 will come in 3 parts. Option 2, option 3, option 4. Option 5 will be the best course of action. And option 1 is obviously the maintaining the status quo. Right? So you have 2, 3, 4 is basically have a drastic or extreme action only with varying degree. With varying degree means sometimes you will write that I will like for option you will write that I will go for whistleblowing. Option 3 you will say that I will go for I will resign from the job, or something you will say that I will go for some holidays, or maybe I'll ask my senior, whatever. All these will be some drastic and extreme action and with varying kind of degree, but their merits and demerits will be almost similar, because see, drastic and extreme action have the same merits and demerits mostly. So in that case, see, it's of no use just repeating the same merits and demerits in all the 3 options. It will consume your time and energy, and leading to that you will consume more time in this case study, leading to the other case studies in jeopardy. So that is why you have to just write 3 options instead of 2, 3, 4. Just write option 2 and write one extreme or drastic action and mention the merits and demerits. That's all. And go for the option 3 and write your best course action. That's all. Okay, this will save your time. And obviously, this option 1 and 2 examiner is not bothered much. They are mainly bothered about their best course of action, because that is what they are looking for. Why? Because as a collector or SP, whatever your best course of action is there as per the case study, that will be only rewarded marks. Because you see the alternate options like option 1, option 2, any damn person can write. Anyone can write, I will do that, I will do, but who is writing the best course of action correctly will get the marks. Because see, the whole game is of the best course of action. Don't think the game is of anything like introduction, conclusion, your all stakeholders. If they are good, you'll get marks. No, you'll get some marks, but only higher marks will be given only when your best course of action is right, because that is only the technical aspect of, that is only the crucial aspect of the case study. If you are writing a wrong best course of action, who will give you marks? Because that is only the thing which is based on your decision making as a collector or SP or any time as a candidate, that will decide that what kind of person you are and how the best decisions you are going to take. Okay, got my point. So obviously, only the best course of action is the right kind of, that is the only thing in which you will get marks. Else is just like, what you call average marks. If you writing a wrong best course of action, you will get lesser marks. Maybe just because the extra content will get some average mark, not more marks. Okay, be sure that you should correct your best course of action. It should be right. It should not be wrong in any case. And now we discuss like how we will know that our best course of action is right or wrong. Okay, I discussed that also. So now try to understand the best course of action has some characteristics. Okay, it has some characteristics. What are those? Number 1, see, best course of action should be ethical. It will be ethical. Something which is unethical, you can't propose. Okay, so it will be ethical. Then mostly it is based on legalities. Also, you are a collector or SP or whatever as per the case study. Whatever decision you will take will be legal also. Something illegal you can't do it. Okay. Third part. And whatever you will do it, because case study is basically based on the practical and crucial aspects. It is not some theoretical part. So it should be practical, it will be practical. Okay. So since it is a practical thing, so it will be done. And it should be practical, something which is very ideal, cannot become the best course of action of a case study. Why? Case study is basically the practical matters, day-to-day matters. And you're writing something which is idealistic. That will not help here. Okay. Then it should not have some escapist tendencies. Okay, it should not have some escapist tendencies. Escapist tendency means like something, if you're saying I'll go and resign from the job, resignation. See, resignation is no doubt your best course of action. That means you are escaping from your duty. You cannot say I will seek transfer. That means again you are not writing the right answer, you are writing the wrong answer. Okay, your transfer is not going to benefit anyone. Then if you're writing, oh, okay, I will ask my seniors. See, you can write that you will ask from your seniors, but whatever you are asking, you have to write them, because it will be considered your decision, not whatever senior will I'll follow, and you are not writing that what you will do as a best course of action. That is basically you are hiding the best course of action because you are not sure about it. Okay, so asking seniors is also an escapist tendency if you have not provided the right kind of decision which you will take. Okay, you can't write that you will wait for court decisions and then you will decide. Okay, see, you can't wait, because this question will be like something which is going to decide. You cannot say that you will file a PIL and you will wait for the court decision, or maybe you will seek some court jurisdiction. That is, see, whenever you are seeking a court jurisdiction, that means you are not able to decide what you are going to write. So that is saying you are escaping from your own decision making. So that is saying, okay, what court will say I'll do, and then you will write that in the best course section, and then you will complete your case study. You won't get marks. Simple reason, because you have not decided, you have not written what you will do. Then this case, the matter of case study is that what do you do? And you're just making a bogus content at something which court will say you'll do it. It will not help you a lot. Okay, and something which is vaguely written as a best course action. That means some bogus answer, something which is not very clear. You won't get marks. Okay, so escapist tendency should not be there. And also you'll find that the best course of action will resolve. You'll see that it will resolve ethical dilemmas. Okay. It actually resolves the ethical dilemmas. So these are some of the characteristics of the best course of action, and this will help you to decide what is the best course of action. Okay, got my point? Because this will help you to judge that what you are writing is best course of action or not. So most of the coaching or most of the teachers won't tell you all these things. These are based on my practical experience and during my preparation, as well as in my administration also. I'm part of the administration also. So this will help you to understand and decide what is the right course of action. Okay, so this will help you, those who are writing names, to understand that. Okay, now something more I'll tell you, that see, there are various kinds of ethical dilemmas. Okay, so you know that there are various. See, whenever the question is asked, you will write many dilemmas, 4 or 5 dilemmas. But you know that these 4 or 5 dilemmas which you're writing, they're basically one dilemma only. Okay, one dilemma only. You're writing more dilemmas, but basically they are one dilemma. You are just writing in different words. Okay, you know that. Many of you will know that you are just changing the words and writing many dilemmas. Like so I've categorized the dilemmas majorly in 2 parts. One will be the personal and professional ethics. See, there will be dilemma versus personal and professional ethics. something which you are doing it, will be which you're doing it in your professional terms is affecting your personal ethical values. Okay, whatever your personal ethical values is there, that is being affected by the professional work which you're doing. Okay, so there is conflict. That is dilemma, ethical dilemma. But both paths are the right. See, what is ethical dilemma? Ethical dilemma occurs between two right or ethical paths. Following one will violate the other. That means you can do one thing only. But whatever you do one, the other will be violated or is in conflict. Okay. So personal versus professional is basically one kind of ethical dilemma which you can usually encounter in the case studies. So you just mention personal as a professional, then you explain what is personal, and then you explain what is professional. Both you explain. This way you can expand your answer. As someone has asked how to fill 4 or 5 pages. So here you can expand because it is being when they have asked you the ethical dilemma, what are the ethical dilemmas in the question, then you expand it. Okay, if they're not, then not needed. Even if you want to just mention and move ahead. Whenever they have asked you, you elaborate. Whenever they haven't asked you, you can just move by giving some passing reference if you want. Or if you do not want, then also no problem. You move to the exactly what they've asked. Okay, this is first part. Second ethical dilemma you can know, right? Like call of duty versus call of conscience. See here, whenever you are in the duty or in your professional thing, so your boss have asked you to do something which is unethical, which is not right, which you feel is against your conscience. So that is there where the ethical dilemmas occur. That is call of duty versus call of conscience. But call of duty means your boss is saying to do something which you feel your own conscience says it is wrong. Within the duty, there is no relation with your personal life. Okay? There is no relation as in the above part, personal life. It is basically the conflict in the duty versus call of conscience. Because conscience will be there now. During the job also, your conscience will be there. So there, this kind of ethical dilemma occurs, and some of the questions you will find that this kind of dilemma is there. Sometimes they will ask you to collect some revenue, which is not right, take some bribe and give to the seniors. All these are what? Calling of duty, they will ask you to do something, but that is call of conscience, that means that is wrong. That is against the conscience. So you will follow that. So that is the basically during your own professional career, it will come. So this is call of duty versus call of conscience. Okay. This is one part. Another thing, I'll tell you many things. Like there are many tips are there. There is so many tips. So I'll just tell you which are majorly important for you. And rest I will just summarize and I'll try to finish. Okay, most of the tips. Now, see, try to avoid the name of thinkers in case studies. But there is no set rules. But I'll tell you that you can, if you want, it's so inclined to write. First of all, it is very difficult to match the name of thinker with the case study, because case study is based on practical aspect and thinkers may be part of the theoretical part. So it's very difficult to match, because thinkers will say some theory, and that is if it is applicable to the case study and maybe 1 or 2, then only you can put their name. So don't go for writing the name of thinkers in each and every case study. If you wish to write it, you can write it, but don't pull push yourself for it mandatorily, right? Because generally the thinkers will say something, but you can link with the case study in very rare case. Like, and if you're linking it, it won't look so nice always. For example, if you write as per the Gandhiji's non-ahimsa or ahimsa, non-violence, you will do this. See, when Gandhiji has told you that okay, do non-violence, is it good? So then only you'll do it. You can do it on your own also. It's basic ethics, non-violence, right? So when you say something about like for example, some thinker have said, for example, Karl Marx have, or maybe Gandhiji or have said something else also. Don't quote it here and there, because it's basically the universal value. So it's of no use. It will look like very childish. If you want to write a mature answer, you can avoid such basic kind of natural values by quoting the name of the philosophers or thinkers. In case of a little bit more, you want to quote some name of thinker which are very professional, very specialized, then you can do. Else, if you are not able to recall, no problem. It is absolutely of not much use here. but you can use it in the theory part. There you can use it here and there. Okay. And more importantly, when you want to remember the, when you want to write the theory part, always think that you should remember the entire syllabus. Why? Because if you remember the syllabus, you will remember the various words, that is the ethical vocabulary, ethics vocabulary, and the various words and the terminologies. And you can use such terminology here and there in your theory part, right? Because you know that you have the optional subject. You have geography, history, geography, history, sociology, psychology. There are various kinds of concepts are there. There are various kinds of words are there, vocabulary are there. So such vocabulary is, if you use it, then your answer looks like very specialized answer. Else it will be looking like very general answer. So definitely when you remember the words of the syllabus, you can use such words here and there. Like for example, instead of write the conflict of interest, you can write the something which is very synonym to of same, like you can write something like crisis of conscience, call of conscience, but something which is related to the ethical terminologies. Also, you can use some principles or the theories in the theory part, like deontology, categorical imperative, utilitarian approach, whatever such types of words you can use here and there. You can use the quotations, quotes here and there. Right? So such kind of things you can use it. Okay. Then there are various statement-based questions. Like, so you will find some various statement-based questions. Like, for example, something will write statement. For example, you can say that some quotation will be there, and you have to write it or explain it. So what we have to do in that case? To define or explain the statement. Always try to define or explain the quote or statement. How you can do it? You can break it in some keywords. You can break it in some keywords and explain and integrate it. Okay. Then do the elaborate it in its major dimensions. Elaborated. Okay. Both the dimensions you can elaborate, positive and negative, with examples. Okay. With examples, you have to elaborate it. Okay. Then you conclude it with relevance in civil services. See, the purpose of ethics is what? Whatever they are asking you, you should give the relevance in civil services. See, after all, ethics is the only syllabus in this examination, only course, only paper, which is there only in the civil service examination. The major motto is that you use such knowledge of ethics in your day-to-day life, your practical life. But we know that most of the civil servants who are qualifying examination, they will forget this ethics paper. Totally ethics, they won't be using it in the field, in the jobs. But when you're writing it in the answer, whatever you are doing after qualifying, you do it whatever. There is no, I'm not saying anything. I'll just quote something that in order to get the more marks in ethics, you have to try to use those relevances in the civil service. For example, the emotional intelligence is there. How it is relevant in civil services? Empathy, compassion. What is the relevance in the civil services? You just try to summarize or elaborate or conclude with such words, or maybe the meaning and the relevance of it in the civil services in most of the answer or few of the answers. You will see that there will be your answer will look different, more fulfilling the requirements of the ethics paper, as well as it will help the examiner to judge your personality easier. Okay, this basically, see, ethics paper is what? Basically judging your personality only. You can write with your own creativity, your personality, your thinking, your thought process, everything can be you can write it on a piece of on this paper, and this will help the examiner to judge you based on your copy. And this on that basis he will give you the marks. It is not a GS paper that you will memorize and write anything and everything. It is a paper in which you are actually writing your own understanding, your own thought process, your how you are brought up, with what values, how you are using such values when you are coming up in the civil services as per the case studies. And it will be actually taking your thought process into the paper. So that is why it is basically the more you are making yourself important and you're relevant in civil services, that much marks you will be getting. Okay, so that is this paper about ethics. Okay, so try to understand that you have to do it in this way only, that you can elaborate on this, and don't worry about the word limit of this theory paper and the case study, because you see the theory paper, just 2 pages are there. So try completing both the papers, both the pages. And in the case study, you work as per the time limit, because there are 4, 5 pages are there. So you cannot complete the whole 5 pages in all the case studies, but when you are doing it, try to do it in a justified manner as per the question asked. You should not write a bogus answer without what they have asked. You're not writing. You're writing something which you know. That won't matter a lot. Okay. What matter is what actually they are asking you. You're writing. Okay. Whatever word limit is there are, don't worry about the word limit. Worry about the time limit. Okay. Nobody is going to count it words. I'll discuss that also separately. Okay. So this is about something like for example, some of the definition you can write in your own words, right? I'll tell that in the case of attempting, you try to attempt the case studies first. As I told you, case studies first. Why? Because case studies is like the mathematics paper, like maths. Like if I give you last 5 minutes and I will ask you to attempt 2 maths questions, you won't be able to attempt even one. For example, in CSET and all, basic question. Why? Because maths, attempting maths require a lot of thinking and understanding, and then without panicking, you can attempt the maths paper. Similarly, when you're doing the case studies in the end, in the last case study, you will have almost all 5 to 10 minutes only, because you'll waste here and there some time, here some elaboration, some less, then you'll have a lesser time. Then you will have in that you need 3 to 4 minutes to read the case study also. Very long. UPSC is asking very long case study. 3 to 4 minutes in understanding it also, then thinking about it, and what they have asked you, then your own decision, your own course of action, then its explanation why you've taken that course of action. All these things require large amount of information which your mind will process and write it quickly as possible. And within 5-10 minutes, it is not possible. At least 15 minutes you need. So that 15 minutes will not be there if you attempt the case study in the second half. That means after 1.5 hours, or maybe lesser time. Okay, but if you're going to attempt the theory questions in the end, even the examiner will shout now last 5 minutes. In that 5 minutes also, you can attempt one theory question. Okay, very easily, because you'll think, okay, this question, now you'll write down. There is nothing to read, right? You're wasting time in reading on the case studies, understanding the scenario, understanding the situation, putting yourself in that shoes or whatever SP or DM is there, then thinking like a DM, thinking like SP, then you're deciding. So it will consume some time in your mind, and because every case study is a new case study for you. But here the theory questions, most of the theory questions you might be knowing. Even if you're not knowing, they are very easy to attempt. So you just read the question, you will attempt within 5 minutes also. Write the major points, write the important things. This way you can complete a paper if you are attempting case study in the beginning and then moving to the theory part. But some of you will say, no, sir, case study will be difficult. I want to attempt in the end. Then whatever you will do, make sure that the last 15 or 20 minutes don't do the case study. Complete case study. Maybe in between, first you do some theory part, then you do the case study. Then in the last, you should have some questions, the theory part. Nah, because in the theory part, you can write much quickly as compared to the case study. Okay, I think now you got the most of the point. Okay, so can I move from the case study to the other GS papers? Any specific question are there? You can ask, then I will move out within some last 5 minutes. You can ask. I will give you some 5 minutes. You can ask any question based on the ethics, then we can move out. Or in the end, I will give you, okay? Because you have to complete the whole thing also, okay? Now coming to the paper of GS 1, 2, 3, 4, I'll tell all together. The basic requirements of the paper. See, how should we conclude the case studies? There are various ways to conclude a case. See, generally the introduction and conclusion are not much required in the case study because it is not a theory question, not a GS question that you introduce the topic and you close the topic with your opinion and with your some concept. But here, the case study is basically based on a practical aspect. So there are some parts. So conclusion and the introduction is not much required in the case studies. However, many coaching people and many many candidates will do it as per your own requirement. But my suggestion is that if you have time is there, you conclude the case study, summarize whatever things have been given, or you can just put something, some part of the question, and you conclude thereon, right? Even if you have lesser time, you have lesser minutes, just proceed to the next question. Don't waste more than 15 minutes. Don't invest more than 15 minutes in one case study. Otherwise, you will be having lack of time in the end. Okay. So I'll tell you, there is, for introduction and conclusion, right? These two things, the coaching people are giving more, emphasis on it. But see, in my mentorship program, I don't give much emphasis. Why? Because see, introduction and conclusion will be, basically it's a part of the content only. If you have a good content knowledge, if you have the complete knowledge of the issue, you can write a very good introduction automatically because you know the background, you know what to write, you know how to start, you know the definition. You'll write definitely a good introduction. And when you have a good knowledge of content, you can definitely conclude the answer of, because you will talk about the future option, you will talk about the optimistic idea, you will talk about the summarizing the whole question. So if you have good content, automatically the introduction and conclusion will become good. But if you do not have a good content, just focusing on introduction and conclusion is useless because it will be like a something which is superficial without the actual content. And the marks is avoided only for mostly for no marks avoided for the introduction, conclusion. Why? Because I'll tell you the story of the two toppers. In 1 year, the Ira Singhal topped the examination, and you can see her blog also. She used to write very, very slowly. She is not a very fast writer, so therefore she has skipped all the introduction and conclusion in each and every question, and she has just written all the answers in a heading and subheading format and the point format. On the other hand, the Tina Dabi, she topped the examination and she has written each and every question in introduction and conclusion format, mostly questions in the paragraph, and both are toppers in different years. So this suggests that introduction and conclusion does not have a separate marks in the mains examination, except in the essay paper. Essay paper, you have the separate marks for the introduction and conclusion, but in the GS paper, it is not that it is not, the UPSC won't give you separate marks. They will judge you based on the content. Introduction and conclusion will be the just closing and ending, right? It does not matter much that you've written a bogus introduction or a good introduction. However, if you're writing an introduction, try to write it with a good content. Good. Don't just compromise in writing the introduction conclusion and just you're saying that you've written the introduction conclusion. Okay, you should not write that these are the following reasons for this, and you started the introduction and conclusion. Okay, these are the above reasons. That is why it happened. These are no way you can say introduction. Introduction can be the background. You can define something. You can say something about it. It's previous things. Some data, some other things are there. Conclusion is what? Some futuristic, optimistic view, and something which is way forward. And okay, something about way forward. I'll tell you that way forward is not needed in the GS paper because basically way forward and conclusion are the same thing. Try to understand that you have the paper, just 2 pages, and you can write the introduction only the 10% of the pages. The page whatever page that you write, 10 to 15% of the page you will consume for the introduction. That means 1 or 2 sentences in the introduction and the same 1 or 2 sentences in the conclusion, right? So you don't have much space, and what you need to be there to write the long paragraph. The important thing is that if the content is weak, content is not there, not good, you won't get good marks. Introduction, conclusion won't alone marks. That is for sure. Okay, it is a just what you call the superficial design of the answer. It means somewhere you go for a shop or shopping or some mall, the beautiful design is good, but in the mall, the for example the AC is not working, light is not there, shops are so definitely. Who is going to stay there? So the content is the king. Therefore, the content is what if content is weak, you're not sure about the answer, you're writing a beautiful introduction, conclusion, it doesn't matter much. Okay. If you have good content, automatically your introduction conclusion will have right kind of content because you know the whole issue. That is why my focus is not the introduction conclusion. During when I talk to students, my focus is the content because definitely you will do good in introduction conclusion. Okay. Now coming to the another thing, let's see the question paper. Don't think about much about the word limit. You will say that some questions 150 word limit and some questions 250. Okay, you will think that as soon as my 250 is over, I will stop writing, or 150 is over, I will stop writing. I'll tell many things about it now. It will take me around another 50 to some 20 minutes. Worry about the time limit. Don't worry about the word limit. Okay, word limit will be automatically controlled by what? Number of pages and the time you have. The time limit is basically the controlling factor in your answer, and word limit will be automatically controlled by the time limit and the number of pages. See, if you have more pages, you can write. Anna, if you have lesser pages, you can write that much only. That means 2 pages, you can write the content within that time limit for 2 pages. And if you have content within writing for the 3 pages within that time frame, you can write in that time frame. So basically, the ultimate king is here the time limit, not the word limit. Word limit, if you exceed 150 words, nothing will happen. If you can write 170 words also, 180 words also, who is going to count the word for each and every candidate, for each and every question? If you can write 250 words, or you can go for 300 words, or you can go for some lesser limit 220 words, right? Important is how much time you will spend on that question, because if you spend more than 15 minutes in one question, then you definitely the other questions you are going to write less, you're going to fill less pages, as well as you will end up in getting less marks. So word limit is not important. Important is time limit. Okay, but most of the coaching have fed you and that word is important. Word. I'm telling you, word is automatically controlled by the time limit and the number of pages you have. Don't have to worry about the word limit. Worry about the content, right quality of content you're writing or not. You're writing a bogus content, forget about the word limit or whatever. You won't get good marks. If you're writing a bogus, useless, unnecessary content. If you're writing the right content, worry about the time limit. You within the time frame, you complete that thing. Now, I will tell you, see, whatever I'll tell you today, those who are writing mains, it will help you in increasing 40-50 marks in whole GS paper and more than 50 marks total overall if you include the essay paper. 10 to 15 marks per paper you will increase. What important suggestion I'm giving you, this will help you in completing the paper also and increasing the marks. How? Most important thing I'm telling you now, listen to it for GS 1, 2, 3, because it is not valid in ethics, because in ethics you have to attempt each and every question. And each and every question you can attempt in any order. Maybe case study you can attempt one by one. In the theory portion, you can attempt first those questions which you know well. But in GS 1, 2, 3, it is based on the content. Okay, here the ordering or serial, or you cannot serial, you can say order of attempting is important. See, most of the candidates who are writing year by year mains are not able to get the interview call, or even if you are getting the interview call, they are not able to qualify because of the low mains score. One of the main and most important reason is that they are attempting the question in the serial order. That means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 up to any 10, then 11, then going for the 20. This is one kind of order. Other kind of order is 11 to 20 first, because it is of 15 marker, then moving from first to 10 because it's of 10 marker. This is also another kind of serial order attempting. These two kinds of, and one more type starting from the 22 backward. This is also a one kind of serial order. 1, 2, 3. If you are attempting the questions in any of these mode, any of these serial order, that means you're following the order of the serial number, like 1 to 10, 11 to 20, or 1 to 3, 4, 20, or 20 to backwards, you will not be able to complete some of the questions in the end, which you might know very well because of the lack of time, because there will be always a short of time in the end. Most of the candidates will face this short of time in the end because you'll invest some more time here and there, and that is why you will be having lesser time in the end. Consequently, some of the questions you will compromise, right? Leading to the lowering of your 10 to 15 marks in one paper, at least. For if you're doing it same, all the 4 papers, you'll get less than your own potential also, right? Why? Because sometimes you are going to attempt in the serial order, maybe question 18, 19 in this part. So maybe you have some, some of you have geography optional. If you're going to attempt the GS1 paper and 19, 18, 92 question are based on geography, and you're attempting in the serial order, by the time you reach those specific 18, 92 questions, which is your best known questions, because your option is geography, or your history option is there, then also you will be knowing some of the last few questions very well. And in this GS1, for example, I'm telling, in GS3, 4, 2, also you know some of the questions which are in the end. But while coming there, you will be having lesser time. Consequently, you lose, or you will compromise in 18, 19 questions where you are going to fetch maximum marks. Like out of 15, you can score 8 to 10 marks in each and every question if you have attempted it in the beginning, right? But since you are going to attempt it in the end, you are going to lose marks, because hardly you'll get 4 marks or 6 marks in each question because of the lesser time and less words and less pages. And here, question 1, 2, 3, you're not knowing much, but you are spending some 7 to 8 minutes as told to you by some of the coaching, or maybe some 12 to 14 minutes in the 15 marker, whether you know or not. Even if you're not knowing or you're knowing, you're going to spend it, because you have been told that you have to give 7 to 8 minutes in the 10 marker, and maybe 12 to 14 or 12 to 13 minutes in the 15 marker, so that you complete whole paper, right? I am telling you why you're going to give the same time to all the questions when you are not getting the same marks in all the questions. You're not getting the same marks in question 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up to 20. So why are you going the equal time in those questions when you're not getting the equal marks? Okay, prioritize your questions. Okay, that is the best strategy. That means you attempt. See, when you are a child, when you're going to the school during the examination, your parents, your father, mother have often told you, better try to attempt those questions which you know first, which you know well. Try to attempt those questions in the beginning, followed by the unknown questions. But you have forgotten such concept now, the basic concept. You are attempting the serial order. That means you are leaving some of the questions, well-known questions in the end, and consequently you lose marks. So attempting is very important. So here you try to attempt your focus on the best questions. In the beginning, the first question, right? Second, third, don't attempt like this. For example, those who are good at geography. So in the GS paper, as soon as they get the paper, they should select that question number 7, maybe 18, 19, and maybe question number 6 are from geography. So as soon as, no need to read the whole paper, because when you read the whole paper, you will feel some questions you might not know. Sometimes you know less questions, so you'll feel depressed that okay, I don't know much question. How will I write them? No need to read the whole paper. Just see those questions in which you know that you are very good at. Those who are good at geography should start attempting from geography. Those who are good at history should start attempting from history, and so on. Okay, so those who are good at geography, maybe, or history, they can first see the question of 15 marker of history and try attempting them first. Then followed by the same history questions in the 10 marker, right? Because these are the best known questions to you. Those who are in the history, those who are the geography, also same thing. Or maybe those topics which you know well. Somebody who are good at IR, they should attempt IR first. Somebody good at the society portion, they should attempt it first. Okay, so whatever is the best, attempt first. and don't give the equal time, because you can, while writing the question of 15 marker, you can attempt it in all the 2 pages, 3 pages, all the 3 pages are there. You can give 14 to 15 minutes on the first question, followed by 13 to 14 minutes in the second question, because you know them very well. You can complete the whole question, you can write more, and followed by, as the question, you come to question number 20 or the last question will come, you can give 4 minutes, 5 minutes, or maybe 3 to 4 minutes. Why? Because they are lesser known questions. You know very less. Either you do not know about it much, or you write some bogus answer wasting 12 to 13 minutes. Instead, you use the right kind of time, that extra time which you wasted on the bogus answer, use those time in those questions which you know very well and attempt them first. Then the time for writing a bogus answer or whatever you know exactly, you write it within 2, 3 minutes, 4 minutes. So this way you can distribute the time and your knowledge, and this, the more time you will give for the well-known questions, you will get more marks. The lesser time you give for the lesser known questions, you'll get less marks. And obviously, if you give the more time also, then also you'll get the less marks only, because you don't have much idea on that answer. Okay, so you have to attempt the question in the order of the priority of knowledge. Okay, you attempt the questions in the priority order of your knowledge. Priority order of your knowledge. Okay, so whatever you know, attempt it first, followed by the rest. So if you follow that process in the first hour, you will find that you can maximum attempt 5 questions. Well, practically I'm telling you, because you'll give one question 15 minutes, some question. So in that way, we'll be going to attempt only 5 questions in the first. Well, if it is good that you can attempt 6 questions, it will be very good. But generally, it will not be possible because of the lack of time. Because in the beginning, you'll give more time. Okay, so this won't. So you will be giving, you'll be writing 5 questions in the first hour. Second hour, since you will have lesser time per question, so you will give 7 questions. You will write 7 questions in the second hour. But you will see that in the first hour, the 5 questions you will score. If your target is 100 marks in the GS paper, one paper, any one paper, so 100 marks, that means totally targeting 400 plus. So 5 questions means you will try to write the 15 marker question in the 5 question. You will score almost 45 marks. That is around 50% marks you will score within first hour. And then the second and the third hour, why will not you score another 50% mark? You will score it. So 100 you can easily cross. So in the third hour, you can write 8 questions. So total 20 questions. Okay. Because the last hour, mostly the question will be of 10 marker. And some of the 2-3 questions which you are not very much aware of. Or maybe you will just know the definition of basic basis. So you will spend 3-4 minutes and you will proceed. So in the end, you are just attempting the last, example will say last 2 minutes. Then also you can attempt 2 lesser known questions, because you know less. And in the last questions, avoid writing introduction and conclusion, because you will be having lesser time. So in order to complete the paper, in the end, you can avoid it. Avoid writing introduction and conclusion. If you think that your paper, you can't complete the paper. So don't just focus on writing the introduction conclusion, just complete it as much as possible. And even if you can avoid writing introduction conclusion, it's okay. You just make the heading, whatever the question is asked, you make the heading and write 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever points. Then you make a heading 1, 2, 3, 4, over. Then you proceed next question. Okay, in the end. In the beginning, you can write that, because the starting question, you know very well, you write introduction, conclusion properly, draw diagrams, underline, highlight, whatever is there. Okay. Always try to fill all the pages. All the pages. Okay, this is most important thing. See, this is a competition. Somebody is filling all the pages and writing the same content, and you are filling 2 pages in a 15 marker, and you are writing almost the same content in 2 pages, and somebody is writing the same content almost in 3 pages. Who will get more marks? You tell me. See, examiner is a cognitive miser. He's not going to, analyze each and every part and then think, and then with his previous, copy checking, he will, understand, how much I give there now, how much I give there. He's a cognitive miser. How much quantity he will get? Obviously, with quality, that quantity will rule if we are giving the same quantity. See, when you're getting the 6 bananas of the same quality, 6 banana of the same quality from one shop, and the shop is giving the 8 bananas with little inferior also. So little inferior, then also you're going to buy the 8 bananas because quantity begets quality. Okay, so you're going to get the banana only, you're going to get the apple, but with little inferior also you will go for quantity. So similarly, in the case of the writing the mains answer, and if you are using the 3 pages completely in 15 marker and 2 pages completely in the 10 marker, definitely as per the competition and the quantity rule, you will get the more marks or not lesser marks as compared to your other counterpart candidates. Okay, so try to complete the whole answer with whole pages, right? Use the whole page. Don't leave it here and there. Okay, so quantity actually begets quality. Okay, then try to don't write lesser in words. That means 150 is there, you writing 1.5 page, will write around 120 words. Don't do that. Try to complete whole 2 pages, and maybe you can use 180 words, maybe 200 words, no matter. Nobody is going to count the words, and nobody is going to deduct your marks for number of extra words, because more words means more knowledge, more answer, more good answer or better answer, and this will fetch you more marks. If you are writing 120 words, it will look like you know less. That is why you have written less. Obviously, you'll get lesser marks as per your own other counterparts. If you are writing 250 words, you can write 300 words also. Nobody is going to count the word. But I'm telling you that this will be done only in the starting questions. The starting 1 hour, maybe last 2 in the next 2 hours. That means last 1 hour you will be rushing because you know lesser, so you'll be rushing. So obviously you will just writing 150 or maybe 140 words, 250 or maybe 220 words. Obviously you're writing lesser over here because of your lesser knowledge, right? And you will take lesser time because you have invested invested those time in the more knowledgeable answer, in which you have written the better answer. Okay, so this way you are using, cutting your more time in lesser known answer, in investing more time in the more known answer. Okay, this paper is called general. See, somebody of you will ask me, sir, how to get an interview call in mains? What minimum thing which you can do that you will get an interview call? I'll tell you. Minimum 2 things if you do, you'll get definitely an interview call. One is if you write every answer in a specialized manner. The paper is of general studies, but the answer and the questions are not so general. Questions are very specific, and if you write a specific or specialized answer, then only you'll get more marks. If you write a general answer, you'll get lesser marks. Be sure on that. Okay. And if you have geography optional, you can show your geography knowledge in the GS paper. If the history optional, you can show history knowledge in the GS paper, provided you answer as per the question asked, not whatever you know. Okay. Second thing, if you want to get an interview call, write the question in a priority order that I already discussed just now. Priority order, attempting. These 2 if you do, you'll get an interview call for sure, unless you have a bad optional or whatever, your optional score will decrease or whatever. You won't be feeling that like you have scored less than your own potential. Specialized order, specific answer attempt, and priority order attempting. This you do, you'll get definitely the interview in the shortest possible. I'm telling you. Now I'm expanding each and everything. This I'm telling you for the at least basic thing. Okay. Now coming to the next part. Okay. Now we'll discuss something about the there are various questions I have asked. You can see that some of the words they're using it. Like for example, illustrate, elucidate, examine, discuss, describe, comment, maybe analyze, or whatever, right? These are some statements. Somebody will say that critically using the word critically examine, critically analyze, or critically explain, whatever. Okay, these so many words are there, and many people will tell you the dictionary meaning of this, and then they will tell you that, see, illustrate is different from elucidate, examine is different from discuss, discuss is different from describe, whatever. See, whatever they are telling is right only. And the coaching people or whatever the people are telling is right. But here I am there to tell you the practical aspect of all these meanings and what you can do in the examination. Okay. The best thing is you know the meaning and address as per the question asked, right? As per the meaning, dictionary meaning or whatever meaning they were telling you, you should know it and you attempt it as per the exactly what are the meaning. This is the best ideal situation. But practically what happens, I'll tell you. Those who are writing means they know it. Those who will write means next year they will know it. Or before you are writing a test, you will know it. Practically, there's hardly any difference between illustrate, elucidate, examine, discuss, describe, comment, and analyze. You write an answer. Why? Because see, the questions the UPSC is asking is not a straightforward, not a direct question. The question will be very much analytical, have lesser and direct information, and as per your knowledge, you will be also having lesser information. Your info is also less on that. So overall, whatever issue you know as per the topic, based on that, this hardly will make a difference as per your own knowledge, as per the indirect question the UPSC is asking. So whatever you know, understand the question, understand what is the essence of the question, what it demands, and you just attempt it. Right? This is the thing you can do. Except the difference is basically the critically analyze, examine, or explain, whatever. Whenever the word critically is added, it will be different as per this general one. Okay, general one, what you do? You try the positive and negative aspects and balance it in the end. Okay, balance it in the end. But here, in the critically examine and analyze whatever, you have to write more on the negative part. And end it with positive part or just a positive note. But major portion, 70% will be on the negative part. Here it is, in the general one, it will be positive, negative, balanced. Right? Here it is more negative. And the questions which UPSC asking the critically will have obviously the more negative content. Then it has lesser positive content. So obviously it will come in the critically, whether it is analyze, examine, or explain, more or less, it is the same thing. You have to focus on negative part more and positive part less. Okay. So this practically the difference will be eliminated because you will follow most of the questions you will be having very less knowledge, indirect knowledge, analytical it is there. So many things are there. So you won't be, and if you even are going to think in 1 or 2 questions, after that you won't think also. Then what is the difference? You just think, you will be racing with your time on that day. And with the race your time, you will forget these minor differences and you will come to write whatever you know, whatever as per the question you understood, as per the essence of the question, you are going to write it. Right? This is the practical aspect I'm telling you. Okay. Now, coming to some more things. See, whenever you get a paper, don't read the whole paper one time. I told you, start from your best part, best subject, which you know. Just find out where are these questions in the paper. Start from there, read them properly, then you start. So within 2 minutes of getting the paper, you will start writing any one answer. Okay. As per your other counterpart, you will see that they will be reading it after 5, 7, 8 minutes. You will starting. So while they will start one question, you will complete at least one question, and you will be ahead from them with that at least one question in the beginning itself. Then while proceeding to the end, you will be more ahead and you will be more balanced. You will be devoting more time allotment as per your knowledge. So this will help you to score your maximum score. You will maximize your score. Okay. So within 2 minutes, you can start writing. Don't read the whole paper, because there will be some question which you do not know. It will create a negativity in your mind. I'm telling you, when you are doing it in the best way of your knowledge will increase, your base will increase, and this will help you to attempt those questions which you do not know well also. Because the confidence level will increase, that will help you in attempting some unknown questions also. Okay. Coming to the next part, like draw diagrams. You should draw the diagrams, draw the flow charts, figures. Okay. In most of the questions, at least in the beginning of the question, which you know very well. I have seen in my test series also, mentorship program also, many candidates are substituting the diagram with the write-up. Without just writing the introduction, and then they are addressing the whole answer with the diagram, with the so many block diagrams, then another part of the answer with so many block diagrams, like that. So I'm telling you, you cannot substitute the diagram with the write-up. See, diagram will be the complementary, or you can just, it will add on, and it will supplement the answer. It will not replace the answer. If you are going to replace the whole answer with the diagram format, so this is not considered so good. You can use it in some of the questions in the end when you are having lesser time, but don't use it in all the questions and from the very beginning itself, because sometimes it will give you a little bit reward, but many times it will penalize you. So you can use the diagram in some of the questions when you're getting lesser time or in the end, but not in all the questions. But you can make a write-up, because in the diagram also you'll write many things, because you're replacing the whole write-up in the form of diagram. So you will write so many things here and there, you write so many things. See, these so many things, examiner is not interested to read them, because you see, whenever you see a book, anything, you will find a simplistic diagram. Diagram should be simplistic. You will find just one word everywhere. Yet the meaning on whatever its relation with some factors and all, one or two words. If you're writing the whole statement, here and there, it will serve no purpose. It's better to make a write-up. Just write point wise instead of just doing it like this. Okay, got my point. So write-up is important. Diagram will add on your answer, is a just addition to it, and some unknown addition, something which is new, which you are not using in write-up, you can use it in the diagram. No, don't draw the, you can draw it, but it will not, you will consume your words. You don't just draw the same diagram and explain it, because you're doing the double work. So better you draw a simplistic diagram and you do the explanation of some other thing also, as referred in this figure. This is like that also you can do. Never put the diagram before the introduction and after the conclusion, because the introduction and conclusion, these, and in between there is a body, right? If you are inserting the diagram before the introduction, that means that it's of no use. Introduction means the question starts from here and it will end by the conclusion. If you are inserting the diagram after the conclusion, then also it's of no use. So you insert the diagram after conclusion and before conclusion in the body, so that it will become a integrated part of the answer, right? Don't go beyond it, because then it won't look nice. Because if you see any book also, first they will introduce something, then only they will draw the diagram. They will not do the first diagram, then they will introduce it. And moreover, the diagram should be simplistic. Okay. Always try to underline the keywords, whatever in the beginning, while writing the answer. Don't think that you will come in the end and then you will mark all the keywords. You won't have much time in the end. You have to do it at the same time. While reading, while writing, whatever keywords you are thinking, you can underline it at the same time. Okay. And there is one more statement written in the paper, that strike off the pages left. That means when you completed some pages, you can strike off. So I'm just telling you that in the beginning, you will be consuming your whole pages. Whatever the 2 pages, 15 mark, 10 mark, you will consume the whole pages. But in the end, maybe you will have 1.5 page left. Sorry, 1.5 page, you will write up half page left. 2.5 page or 2 pages, you are writing 1 page left. If you're going to strike it off, sometimes when you're writing some other answer, your mind will click that, okay, something is left in that answer also, I'll write. But when you strike it off, you can't write it anything. That means you cannot make any addition later when you want to add some more content in where the space is there, because you have striked it off. So don't strike it off. I have never striked off any question, and no problem is there. I have always used No, something if I miss and I just remember, I have written it in the end also. After conclusion, I actually, include, more conclusion. I'll write more things that I'll conclude again. So don't strike off. You can use some more information if you have some time left in the end, or that like after writing, you remember something, some question, then you can come again on that question and complete that part. So striking off in the beginning is not good. In the end, last 2 minutes, 3 minutes, then if you want to strike off, you can strike off, because that at the time you don't have much time. But don't just strike it off in the beginning. And it is not very absolutely necessary to strike it off. You can do it without striking off also. Okay. So, okay. Now coming to the another part, that don't follow the same pattern. I told you, same pattern or template. That is basically more useful in the ethics paper, because ethics have the same template. Here you can change the template or the pattern. Don't use the same thing here and there. Exactly the same thing. Make it different. You change the pattern, change the template in every or most of the questions in GS also. However, in the GS, it is not consciously you will be changing it. But in the ethics paper, mostly the template that I have to write all those things, then I have to start. There you can change it. Okay. Now coming to the some other more information about the introduction and conclusion part. Many people are still confused at what to write in introduction. So I'll tell you, you can use the definition. If you do not know anything, define the keywords. Maybe if you have little idea, what little explanation you can do it in the introduction part. You can explain something little bit. Okay? Or you can do some background information, or you can talk about the origin of it. Right? Even you can proceed with examples also. Then you can start the introduction. Even if you do not know much, you can give the meaning of the statement asked, and then you can start your introduction. Even in other cases, you can do the linking with the current affairs. You can start the question, introduction. Data, facts, figures can also be used. Figures means numeric and all. Figures, but diagram is not diagram. You can use after introduction. First thing you can use for writing the introduction also. Even you can use quotes wherever you think that is appropriate in using the introduction. Then your body will come. Body you have to address as per the question asked, whatever they asked. Use the words from the question. Words means keywords from the question into your answer. Why I'm telling this? Because see, there are many ways that you will use the question is asked that what are the factors responsible for the location of industries? But in the answer you will writing the reasons for the location of industries. I'm telling you the reasons and factors you mean the same. As per your own answer, you are writing the right kind of answer. You're writing the reason and you're writing the factors only. But the question is asked the factors. Examiner, I told, is a cognitive miser. He will find where are the factors written. He will find all the reasons. Then he will be okay. He will think that okay, you have not written the factors. You do not know the factors. You present some reason and all. Okay, give some average mark and move. Okay, I'm telling you, if you're using the same word, same factors, even if your factors are not very right, suitable, you'll get more marks. Because you are making the examiner understand that you are addressing the question as per the question asked. You are not addressing what you know. You are addressing what you are asking. I am writing. You're writing the factors only. You'll get more marks. But if you're writing some other word, reasons, or maybe some other word, some synonym also, it will not be meaning. It will not mean similar to the examiner. He will search for the exact word asked in the question. So to make the examiner know that you are on the right track, you are on the right point of the answer, use the same word as the question. This will help you a lot. Okay. Then move to then you write the answer, factors, point wise, whatever you're going to write it. Then move to the conclusion. See, this I'm telling you, this you can use it. You know, whatever, even in the essay also, you can try using it. You can, in the essay introduction, just add anecdotes also, story also, you can add it in the introduction part. Conclusion. Conclusion, you can use the suggestions. You can use the suggestions. Something which is optimistic, you can use it. Futuristic thing, you can use it. Government schemes, you can conclude your answer. Even some recent or current happening, you can add it. Summarizing, you can summarize your whole part. You can use the examples, case studies, and depending on the question to question, you can use such thing in the conclusion part also. Then there is another thing, this is way forward. Way forward is different from conclusion. Basically, way forward is basically broadly, conclusion and the way forward is actually merging in the GS paper, because it is almost the same thing. You write one or two sentences, either you write a way forward or the conclusion, but make sure that the body is good, right? So it's hardly matter that you write whatever. But in the introduction, in the essay part, way forward you can write before writing the conclusion. Okay, way forward is basically the forward-looking approach. That is, can be the suggestions also, can be the future course of action. Future course of action, or some of the action taken consequently. Right? Something which is related to the future, some way forward, some way, what will be the outcome, output, something can be called as a way forward part. That can also be included in the essay paper, definitely. But in the GS paper, it is more of conclusion and forward. Way forward is more or less similar things, because you don't have much time to write it. 1 or 2 lines you have to write it. Sentences, you can do it. Whether write the way forward, don't write the heading, introduction, conclusion. Don't write the heading. Just in the end, you change the paragraph and write down whatever you know as whatever conclusion or the way forward. Okay. Now, one more important thing I'll tell you, which most of the candidates are doing it by, many approaches are there to write an answer. So I'll tell you that with the knowledge of the various topper also saying something, some of the coachings are also saying something. So actually students are basically confused and what to do, what is right, what is wrong. So there are 2 types of questions UPSC is asking you. First is statement. UPSC will give what? UPSC will give some statement. Okay. Then they will ask some related questions with that statement. That is, statement is basically what? The context. The statement is context, and related to that context, the question is asked. Okay. So context or the statement is basically, statement is what? Context. They will give some context and they will ask you the related questions. Then what you can do in that question, you can, many people will tell you that break the statement. Break the statement into keywords. That means you break the statement into keywords and use and explain such statements. Such keywords as per the question asked. Okay. That means the statement is related to the question or the context related to the question. So obviously the question is related to the question, you have to answer it, you have to break the statement and answer it. See, when we have time sufficient, then we can explain it with the help of example also. But here, let me tell you that you will understand it after you read many questions, you find out that statement is related to question or not. So when the statement is related to the question, you can break the statement into keywords and then you address the question asked as per the breaking the statement also. Breaking the statement into keywords. Okay. So keyword wise, you can explain the question asked. There is other type of questions in which the statement will be there. Statement or context will be there, but the question is unrelated with the statement. They will say some statement, but question is asking something else. Question is different, not much related with the statement or the context. So in that case, what you have to do? You have to write the introduction or some of the basic starting of the answer related with the keywords of the questions. Related with the keywords of a statement. Okay. As per the statement, you break and write some basic level of introduction or some of the beginning paragraphs as per the question asked, but the body of the answer must address the statement. Sorry, must address the question asked. That means you have to address the question, essence of the question, right? Understand the essence of the question and address it. So mainly you have to address the question asked, not the statement. In the previous where it is related with the question is related with the statement, you have to break the statement, and as per the question asked, you have to understand, you have to write about the various keywords of the statement. That means the question is similar to that only. But when the question is unrelated with the statement, you can try using some of the words from the keywords from the statement, but you have to address mainly the question asked, not the statement. Okay. This you have to do. Next thing, those questions which you know very well, try to expose it or increase the visibility of it. How you're going to increase the visibility of it? By writing proper introduction, conclusion, use of diagrams, figures, block diagrams, whatever, maps, wherever it is needed, expose it. But those questions which you know less, not very well known, you have to cover it up. You have to cover it up. How are you going to cover it up? By writing in paragraphs. Here you can write in the point wise. Point wise, use subheadings. Because you know it very well, you want to expose that. See, say I've written the heading. Say I've written the point. Say I've written the diagrams. So you will be making an exam that look, my answer is this. I know it very well. You expose the answer, get the impression of the examiner and get more marks. But those questions which you know less, you have to cover it up, because that will be basically in the last hour of your answer. Last hour. In the beginning 2 hours, you know very well, you can expose it. The last hour, you know less, so you have to cover it up. That means you put it up in paragraph. Here you are going to underline in the exposing. Here less underline, unless you are sure that what you are writing is right, then only underline. Don't underline the wrong information or wrong factual information, because then this will be, the examiner will look into the wrong information and will know that you do not know, right? So you use a paragraph, less underline, only those which you know well, and don't use that. If you are drawing a diagram, you should be very sure about it. Don't draw the diagram for an experimental purpose that don't know, but you have drawn it just like that. You don't expose your answer. Cover it up. Don't write in the point format if you do not know much. Don't write in the point format if you do not know much, because the point will also again will expose you. You have to cover it up. Okay. So this you have to do. Now come to the another part. When you are writing an answer, most of you will deviate after some time. Most of you will deviate from the main answer. This happens mostly in essays. You're writing 2-3 pages on track, 4 pages. After 4th pages, you lost the track. You are moving 5-6 pages out of the track. Then you are reading the question. Then you know what I've written. Then coming to the track again. Sometimes you will forget the track and you will write the whole answer. Later you will realize what the question has asked, what I've written. Sometimes you will realize the later stage also. So these are many issues are there. Deviation will be there very easily. So how to prevent the deviation? The best way to prevent the deviation both in GS paper and essay paper is that keep looking the question periodically. Whenever you are going to write it, for GS, just keep looking, underline or highlight the keywords that you are addressing it. Use those keywords in your answer. In essay also, use those keywords in the answer so that you will know that where you are writing, what you are lagging. Okay, just looking those keywords from the very beginning to end. Okay, so this way you will be on the track. You won't lose the track. Now coming to some more information. Let's talk about something about essay also. There are some more things for the GS also, from case to case basis also. We can take up in the end also as for your own question also. Maybe something we'll discuss here and there, then also we'll take it. Okay, so let's talk about something about the essays also. Okay, so in essays, try to understand that there are two topics in the examination, philosophical and general. And nowadays, last year, general topics are made very similar to the philosophical topic. Okay, I want to discuss it with you, like what you have to do in such topics. See, before that, I'll tell you that before writing an essay, you have to do brainstorming. You have to do brainstorming. What brainstorming means? You have to devote 10 minutes, okay, plus minus 5 minutes in each and every question. Sorry, in both essays, like in the whatever, try to attempt the general essay first and give this time of 10 minutes to brainstorming, maybe 15 minutes for the brainstorming. Okay, and remaining 1 hour, 15 minutes for writing the essay. Right. Now I'll tell you that how we're going to manage this 1 hour, 15 minutes, or whatever. See, first of all, coming to the brainstorming part, many of you will do the brainstorming in an organized manner. But in UPSC, you have to do the brainstorming in unorganized manner, not in organized manner. Why? I'll tell you. See, when you do a brainstorming in an organized manner, that means you will think first, okay, let the thoughts come in, that what I will write in the introduction. You'll write something. Then you will think what I'll write in body. Now let me think. Your thoughts will come up for the body. Then you will think that now I have to conclude the essay. What thoughts I can write up here. So like this, you are doing it an organized brainstorming, organized. I'm asking you to do it unorganized. How? See, take an example. When you are in the college, maybe engineering college, or you're during your graduation, you might be knowing that there are some of the teachers, they are coming to your college, guest faculty and all. They will be teaching in a different style. They will come to the class, and then, for example, they will give some creative topic like how to make energy from plastic, for example. So they'll give you, then they will ask you, don't worry, whatever thoughts are coming to your mind, just give me those thoughts. I'll write in the whiteboard or the blackboard, and then I will proceed. So they will ask each and every question, that whatever thoughts, be it bogus, vague, useless, useful, but it should be creative or anything. Just tell me how are you going to convert the plastic into energy. Somebody will say ki burn it and use as a fuel, and use to boil water, make it gas, and use in the rotate into the turbine. Somebody will say use the plastic in some other way to make the energy. So like this, you will write all the ideas. Like this, you will write all the ideas. Okay. After the whole class is over, there are some 20-25 ideas will be there. Maybe some are good, some are bogus, some are creative. Now, what he will do? He will ask. He will say, okay, let's see how many we can do. We will take these ideas. Yes, we can do this. Other people will do some of the ideas here. They will, okay, this can be done, and these two ideas can be done. Then he will select out of these three categories the best idea. Maybe 1, 2, or 3 best idea he will select and say, yeah, these are the best ideas. This is what is called brainstorming, unorganized. See, brainstorming, when organized, unorganized, it will be creative. Unorganized brainstorming will be creative, will be good for creativity because you are unorganized. Why? So when you are going to brainstorm, you just see the topic. For example, it is on what is women. Then whatever fodder material you have read it, whatever on the theme, just write down. Just write down with quotation, whatever, without any thinking that what will come here, there. Just write it down. Then after taking 10-15 minutes, you have done the brainstorming. Then you use the 3-4. This part can go to the introduction. This part will go for the conclusion. Then this part will come in the body. First part. This part will come in the body. Next part, second para. This will come in the third para. Like that, you divide it. This way you are getting more creative answer. You can try it out. And those students I have told, in my students only, they have told me, sir, up till now we are doing organized brainstorming and it is very hindering. It is not, we are not able to recall many of the things. But now we are able to recall many of the things. We understand that we are doing unorganized so that I get more ideas, more creativity, and anything and under the thing. Okay, how many paras in essay? See, these are the questions which is no way you should ask. How many paras? I told, based on your time limit, 1.5 hours you have. How much you can write in that much only you will write. You won't have some 15 minutes extra and you'll sit quietly. You will use all the time. Okay. So how many paras, how many words is already over. I have told that it is time limit. If you have time, if you have content, write it. If you don't have time, even if you have content, you can't write it. If you have time, you don't have content, still you cannot write it. So you should have both content and time. Then only you can write it as many paragraphs as per you think, as per the number of pages. Beyond that page, you can't write. Beyond that time, you can't write. Already it is automatically controlled by everything. Your time and number of pages. Yeah, those questions you are asking is of just a how many paragraphs, how many words. Already it is controlled by the number of words and time limit. Sorry, number of pages and time limit. And obviously the content. If you don't have content, nothing you can write much. Okay. So coming to this one, unorganized brainstorming is very important. Do it in unorganized way. Then you decide that what part will come in introduction, what part will go in conclusion, what part go in content part. Okay, this will be the best way. Now, I've already discussed you some of the essay part, right? That introduction, what you have to do. Now I'll tell you that here also a little bit some more addition is there. Introduction of here essay part. What more you can do? Apart from that, you can use here story, anecdote, quotes. You can use it, instances, situations, maybe situation based something you can use it. Then if you do not know, then definition start. Many things which I have already discussed with you. Conclusion, what you will do? The conclusion, you can conclude with an optimistic idea, futuristic course of action, suggestive approach, even your viewpoints you can conclude. Story ending with some, if you've written some story, then you end that story story of the introduction, try to end it here. So it will look more integrated. Okay. Again, you can use the anecdotes, quotation also you can use it. Quotes you can use anywhere in the beginning and even the in between also, in the body also. There's no problem of it. Okay. Now coming to the another part. Okay, let's discuss about some of the general essay. First we'll discuss. Okay. Then I'll discuss about the philosophical essay. General essay is very easy to write. General essay. First of all, I told about that do not deviate. I told you that keep looking into the topic, use the word from the topic. Then see, you know that these are the first you have to organize, do the unorganized brainstorming, use the part that which you will go in introduction, which go in conclusion, then you define it. You can use the pastel approach. Okay. Political, economic, social, right? Technological, environmental, legal. These parts you can use it in the general essays. Do not draw diagrams. Do not draw diagrams, flowcharts, or figures in the essay. Do not draw it. It is not appreciated, but unless and until a good trend is there, you cannot recommend it. Nowadays, very less people are drawing it, and majorly 95% people are not drawing any diagrams, flowcharts, or figures in the essay. You can underline the keywords always in the essay, especially the keywords used from the question itself. Right? Try to use the innovative subheadings. Don't use the general subheading like in GS paper. No, reasons for this, factors for this. Use something which is innovative, like something which are used in a Hindu article, or maybe any other newspaper. Like, we can say the double-edged sword. That means if you want to explain the positive and negative, so you can write double-edged sword. Something like that you can write. Okay. So maintain the logical flow. As per the question, maintain the logical flow in the essay. Right? And there are various criterias for the essay. Which you can look into. That whenever you are writing an essay, we should add such things. You should try to include in your essay so that you score more marks. You can write down that there will be, marks will be given for such criteria. Which are they? First, that introduction, conclusion. Right? The separate marks will be there for introduction, for conclusion. Right? Then for innovation or creativity, there will be separate marks. Then organization. If your essay is well organized, it will be appreciated. Then there will be diversity of ideas. Ideas should be multidimensional. I told you pastel approach or maybe any other approach, and with the diverse ideas should be there. Then more dimensions should be there. Then whatever the arguments you are giving, strength of the arguments are important. Right? Content on the topic. If you are deviating from the content, then it's of no use. Right? And more or less the examiner will decide. So examiner discretion is also there. Who is going to give you the marks? Right? So these are some of the things which you should know that this will affect your marks in the essay paper. Okay. So coming to the philosophical topic now. See, philosophical topic has many approaches. It can be, you can do it, you can write it in any format, provided you understand the topic. First of all, try to understand the meaning and essence or substance of the topic. That means you should understand that what it means, what is the meaning of it, how you're going to understand. First you get the information about the philosophical topic, right? What is the meaning of the whole topic? Then you have to choose all the above topics based on that the topic which you have understood better. You have to choose that topic. You know that you have major content is there, more dimensions can be covered, or more content is there, you choose that topic. Then in which you can show more examples, that topic you choose. Okay. So better understood as per your own understanding, then more dimensions and content and more examples. Such topic you can choose first. Then again you the unorganized brainstorming. Then you can come to the part. Like now you have tried the introduction of that topic. Now the topic is of very philosophical nature. So the simple introduction or maybe direct introduction based on like what topic you are choosing depends. So in general, I will tell you that what you can think, like what to write in the introduction. So you can start the introduction as a definitional also. Definitional introduction or descriptive introduction. Okay. Then you can deconstruct from the topic. That means what is the topic is there, you are able to deconstruct. That means you divide it into many parts, and then you write the one of the major part. You write the basic overall, introduce the whole topic. Or if you have difficulty, then keywords you can use it, define it, and maybe you can use the anecdotes. Right? You can write all such things in the introduction. Then comes the body of the philosophical topic. See, there are various approaches to write a body. First is very basic approach. You can follow any one or multiple approach. First is keyword approach. Keyword approach is what? If you're not very sure about what to write, you identify the keywords, phrases. Then you elaborate on it. Okay. Then you follow the dividing approach. Dividing approach means you divide the topic. Topic is there. You divide the topic into many parts and elaborate on it with examples. Right? This is dividing approach. First is keyword approach. Second is dividing approach. Such type you can divide it and then you can address it. Okay. Then you have layers approach. Layers approaches means that it is like, like the layer of onions are there, right? You have to layer by layer, you can remove it. So basically the various unlayering it, that the various dimensions of it and elaborating on each dimension. Okay. And fourth is I told it pastel approach. Pastel approach is what? Political, economic, social, technological, environmental, and legal. Okay, this is the approach, but it's generally more applicable in general essay. Philosophical essay, it is of not much use, and whenever you are not knowing anything, then only you use the pastel approach. Otherwise, don't use it, because pastel approach is basically the philosophical essay you can't approach the philosophical essay with this pastel approach. This is one of the easiest approach for the general essay, but here it is very difficult. So less useful here. Less useful in philosophical. Only when you do not know much, then only you can use this. Then important one is, fifth one is entity approach, or you can say that stakeholder approach. Entity approach is what? Like for example, you can start from the small entity. Some statement you go from the start from the family, then go from family to community, right? Then you go for community, then bigger one region, then society. You are basically moving ahead. Entity approach, then society to the country, then maybe world. Okay. Stakeholder approach, matlab something which is stakeholder, the government is the stakeholder, some private agencies, some private thing you can write, society is the stakeholder. Some philosophical essay will be there in which you can use such approach. Environment will also be stakeholders. Nation, some country, or your country will be the part. Human beings, or maybe people was a part of the stakeholder. These are some of the entity and stakeholder approach. You can use such approaches, unveil the dimensions on these entities or stakeholders and write down. Then give in philosophical essay for and against also. For and against also. For you give 75%. Against you give 25%. Okay. For you give 75%. Against you give the some 25%. Right? By giving the national, international, societal, personal, etc. examples. Okay. Always try to show the diversity in your philosophical essay. Most important. Then obviously the creativity we have already discussed. Creativity and organization is very important. And flow of the essay is very important. Flow. It should flow like a river, interesting to read. Then only you can use the quotes, similar quotes. You can always use. Even you can use the recent judgments of Supreme Court, government schemes, if it is there, if it is applicable. Or some case studies, local or international, national, if it is applicable, if applicable. Here and there, wherever your answer is there. Okay. So how to conclude philosophical essay? Most importantly, summarize. You do not know anything, summarize. That will be the best way to conclude the philosophical essay. Even if it not on to summarize, consolidate the best ideas. The best ideas explained the conclusion. Or you can do reinforce some of the ideas, right? Or concepts. Or then naturally you can conclude by using the anecdotes. Already we discussed quotes, examples, recent judgments. However, you should always end in positive note. Okay, this you have to follow, right? So, but however, you can always link the essay, like the concept of flow is very important in the essay. For flow, to maintain the flow, that what you can do, you can link the various paragraphs with these words, what is called conjunction or the connectors, like further. No, you can use, don't use the same word every year. You can use further, furthermore, moreover. I'm just telling you the tips. No, you can use these words, you can write down, then only you will be able to use it. However, then not only, but also like this, although, you can use this word although, and also, either or, neither nor, if there is there, right? Then in addition to this, like this, you can change in a, you can start a new paragraph, or you can write the meanwhile, or in the end of the paragraph, or maybe finally. Then maybe you can write the equally equally important is this too, or they can consequently, eventually. These are the connectors. Gradually, depending on what what you are going to use it. Nevertheless, you know, whereas, or you can use to be specific to start a news paragraph to begin with. Subsequently, therefore, like that you can use something. I have given you many words. Such type of things you can use and make the flow in your essay, right? These are some of the things which I want to discuss. See, there are many more, but these are the prominent ones, important ones, which you should do it, follow it in all the GS paper, essay and ethics. And since the time is also less, we have got 2.5 hour or 2.5 hour maximum. So I give some time to the session. You can ask some question also. But my suggestion is that I have just introduced you some of the things in just one webinar, which we used to conduct last year. Kingmaker Academy, with their association, I've conducted the 3 days webinar, 2 hours, 2.5 hours each. So we have completed comprehensively most of the things. But this time, due to the lack of time, and we are on the end, so sir has suggested at least one class you can give, in which you give all the briefly everything. And then if the students are demanding, then we can take more class. But as of now, you just give in the beginning the more important points, important concepts. If you think that we need to discuss it more elaborately, then only we'll take more classes, or we'll conclude on this today class only with your questions. But my suggestion is that those who are writing the mains this year, I'm telling you that you have 2 weeks. Use it with full revision, revise it everything 3-4 times, especially current affairs, and give your best. Still don't show the feeling of demoralization. Don't have the feeling of that you will not be able to qualify. It's difficult to qualify, whatever. You will not win the race unless you are into the race. Don't think that you are out of the race. Everybody is thinking like that. So moderate level of stress, tension is always there. Use that tension for use that little stress for your better preparation. Moderate level of stress. High level of stress you can't study. Low level of stress still you can't study. If you have the moderate level of stress, you will definitely study, because that stress is good and it will help you to focus on the mains examination. Okay, one more thing I just forgot to say, that during the two period or 2 session of the mains paper, that is when you have the paper 1 and paper 2 of GS or the optional, there will be interval or recess period, okay, of 2 hours, right? I'm just telling you, don't do revision in this period. Revision in the period in this and in the beginning in the morning period. Since so now most of you will ask, oh, sir is asking not to revise, but everybody is revising. Why will not I revise? See, if some of you might be having the psychology option, they can very well understand it. That there is a concept in psychology, there is a theory in psychology that the prior revision, when you revise something, so you have gained the recent information. This recently gained information after revision will interfere with your previous information stored in your long-term memory. When means if you are revising in the interval period or in the morning period, without a gap, just you are revising and just you're going into the examination hall, it's very difficult to recall your previous information, because your recently learned revision information will interfere with your previously learned information, and it will prevent it from recalling. So it will be difficult to recall your old information because of the recent revision of recent information. So understand this concept. This is very good concept, very important concept in psychology, that it will interfere with your old information. So that is why my suggestion is that in the interval, don't revise it. Whatever revision you have to do, last 2 hours, no revision. Even in the morning, if you have to revise, before 6 or 7, you revise it. 7 to 9, no revision, because 9 your examination will start. But the best way is that you sleep after doing everything and no need to revise, just wake up and go for your examination. In the interval, have your lunch, have your little bit of snacks, and don't revise in the between also. Again, it will interfere with your old learned information. See, so I'm telling you that use this also. See, everything count for your mains marks. Every little information which I am giving you here, whatever you are learning from other, use it for your benefit. Even 1 mark, 2 mark, gain will help you to qualify in the mains and will help you to get a good rank. Because in the final ranking system, 1 mark will change your service. Even in the last ranks, 1 mark, they will be finding some 10 people, 8 people in the same mark, right? Mark is important. Okay, so whatever I told you to here will help you in your own information, in your own learning, and whatever you have learned from here and there, use that information. Okay. Anyways, now if any of you have some question, I'll give you some 10-15 minutes. You can ask me. We'll wrap up by 2.5 hours completely. Okay. Those who are writing mains, or especially they can ask questions. Yeah. Recorded copy, I think you will get it from the Kingmaker. You can ask, sir. Where we should be drawing. You can draw a map in geography paper. You can draw maps wherever you think that you can draw. You can draw the part map also. That means if the question is about Northeast, no need to draw the whole map, draw the just part of Northeast and you can locate the things which the question is asking. If the question is about the Southeast Asia, just draw that part only. Don't draw the whole map of Asia. Maybe Southeast India, draw the same map. Maybe South India, just the South India map. If you want to give more clarity to your answer. Able to complete around 80-90 questions. How do you? I told you in practice you can do. What you can do, those who are writing mains, I'll tell you one more thing. Just you can write 3 questions per day in 30 minutes. It means almost 10 minutes each question, and another 30 minutes you do self-evaluation. Okay, this you do. This will help you a lot. So 1 hour you have to spend, 3 questions you are writing in 30 minutes, and 30 minutes you do the self-evaluation. You have to evaluate yourself. Okay. So, and then whatever model answer is there, you can evaluate it and you get to know that, okay, these are the things which you are missing in your answer. You can use that. You can write down with the red pen in your booklet or in your answer sheet and revise it twice and thrice before the examination. So within 15 days, you will be able to do 45 new questions with answer and then revise it twice or thrice. And you'll find 2, 3, 4, 5 questions similar to directly or indirectly from these questions. Okay. You can try doing this. This will help you a lot. Whatever students I've told, my students last year who qualified, before that also, they have always told me, sir, we are doing this one since the last month. So around 100 questions we have done. We have revised it, and this has helped me a lot in doing the proper revision and recall during the examination. Okay. Any other query? Any other question? No query, no question. If there is no query, no question, no issues, we'll complete the paper. We'll finish it and we'll end it. Thanks a lot. Thanks everyone. Thanks everyone for joining the session. So we'll discuss the rest of the questions maybe later, or you want some more class, then we can discuss it with sir. But however, I think I have completed the whole thing as of now, and we'll discuss it. Right? If you have any queries separately, you can join my channel. I'll send you. Just wait for 2 minutes. I'll send you my Telegram channel. It's like India Bhai channel 1. This is my Telegram channel, and you can personally message me on India Bhai Telegram ID, and my number you can also note down 7906 255 103. For more messaging or information, you can message me here. So yes, we can inculcate the committee recommendation case studies. You can do it. Case study not needed, but if you think it is directly applicable, then you can do it. When you talk about the topper mindset thought before 15 days, see 15 days examination date, you have to revise it. Revision is the key. Okay. So you can join my Telegram channel where you will get all the materials and information also. Okay. And the mentorship program is also there. You can see it.